CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
This is Next Weather.
And off the top, taking a live look outside, a warm day across South Florida. But what is in store for the holiday weekend? Let's get right to Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera. Ivan, how's it shaping up?
Hey, you had to look closely in that shot there, but a little bit of sunshine finally breaking through. Holiday is going to be the same thing. Najahe, sun and clouds. It's going to be a mix on and off here with a couple of isolated showers, but not a huge thing. It's going to be mostly dry and seasonable for this time of year. Our rain chances do increase, but as we talked about yesterday, that has now been pushed towards after Christmas and through the end of next week. So looking good. As far as the airports, if you're heading out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale, both reporting no delays here. Had a few slight delays up towards the Midwest, but not a huge deal. This is going to be, again, the storm we've been talking about. LAX not doing terribly right now with 20 to 30-minute delays, and that storm is headed to the Rockies and then eventually into the Midwest, and all the while it's going to drag those delays with it. 73 right now with a mostly cloudy day. We had some showers early in the morning. Those have since dissipated, but we'll continue with that in the picture here. And cloud cover from all sorts of directions. We got a west, moving cloud deck here. That's in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And then right along the shore there, that's those cumulus clouds that continue to pull in a couple of showers here and there. We'll keep rain chances 10-20% for tonight. Not a bad idea to hang on the umbrella because that is going to be with us, and temperatures will stay pretty steady here. That will be the case through Saturday, Sunday for our last day of shopping here, or whatever you're heading out to do tomorrow, heading into Christmas Eve. We're looking good. Christmas itself, again, the storm that we'll be tracking the next few days, that's not getting anywhere close to us here, so that is good. That means a dry Christmas, and then eventually we do have showers on the increase. Latest models, by the way, depicting a nice little push of dry and cooler air for next Friday. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. We'll rain track it for the rest of the evening. You'll see those on and off showers continuing through Saturday as well. With that northeast wind, it'll be a little breezy at times, not as gusty as we've had it next few days. The wind begins to shift to the east and then eventually southeast in response to the high moving east, and that's going to set up for a warmer Christmas Eve here, and we're looking at temperatures in the mid and upper 70s. A lot of cloud cover, not going to be completely blue skies for both Christmas Eve and Christmas, and temperatures, though, will continue climbing here, approaching 80 degrees by the afternoon. Tomorrow on your Saturday, temps in the mid 70s, so a little bit cooler than we're looking at for Christmas Eve and Christmas. The rain chances tomorrow at 20%. On and off showers that'll be coming in on the breeze, and there you see the forecast through the holidays and into next week. We'll peak out around 80 degrees, and then that big front comes in late next week with a big cool down by Friday.
All right, not a bad 7-day. Thank you, Ivan. The hustle and bustle of getting to Grandma's house is getting all too real. Millions of Americans are on the move. CBS News Miami's Jacqueline Quinn spoke to travelers at Fort Lauderdale International Airport.
The line to get to the airport here keeps on getting longer and longer, so leaving early is a must, but be careful because the Christmas travel period is among the deadliest during the year. Weekends at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport is busy enough. This weekend, however, is among the 17-day winter holiday stretch. And do we have to watch out for accidents? Because there was one on the ramp towards the airport this morning, right?
There was on the way to the airport. I don't know what caused it, but again, all the roadways throughout South Florida are busy at this time, so people need to be, conscientious and careful drivers and not be distracted. This year, both Miami and Fort Lauderdale airports are forecasting an increase in passengers coming through, over 2 million, with Miami International Airport nearing 3 million.
Try to get to the airport like 2 hours in advance just to make sure that, I'm not rushing at the end last minute.
And not rushing to get there could prevent accidents. The National Safety Council estimates 345 people may die on U.S. roads this Christmas travel period. And where are you guys going?
Sorry. We are going to Iowa.
Izzy Byer has precious cargo, her son, and so she tries to make sure not to rush through everything last minute.
I've never really had an issue. We fly back every Christmas, and I don't know if it's just because I'm used to it, but I don't think it's too bad. It can be a little busy, but it's still fun.
That means getting to the airport early, checking in, and not going hungry.
Snacks, toys, and shows. You got to have a little bit of everything.
She knows there's no getting around the crowds, but preparation can make it a little more bearable. And I just got some new stats from the Florida Highway Patrol. They tell me in 2020, for the month of December, there were almost 600 crashes because of alcohol or drugs or a combination. And also the airport here also wants to remind people, if they're coming to pick somebody up, do not park on the shoulder of the roadways here. It's a hazard and it can prevent emergency trucks from getting through. At Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, I'm Jacqueline Quinn, CBS News, Miami.
Now at 4, in Cutler Bay, Miami-Dade police say they arrested a 35-year-old homeless man. It is in connection to a car fire. Rando Lutzenheiser is facing charges of first-degree murder. Firefighters responded to this scene. This is near Southwest 92nd Avenue and Old Cutler Road yesterday. Police say when the fire was put out, they found a man's body inside. Turning now to a deadly discovery in Miami. Police say the body of a woman was found floating along the Rickenbacker Causeway. Investigators have not identified the body or the circumstances of her death. Stay with us for the very latest. A man accused of inappropriately touching a little girl is behind bars. Alejandro Landano is facing lewd and lascivious charges against a child. Police say the 42-year-old inappropriately touched and exposed himself to a 6-year-old girl. Investigators say it happened last month at a resort at Sunny Isles Beach. Stay with us. More news when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Now to the Israel-Hamas war. After a week of delays, the UN Security Council is set to vote on a resolution. It could help increase humanitarian aid to Gaza. CBS News Miami's Willie James Inman reports from Washington.
The United Nations Security Council convened Friday to vote on a resolution on desperately needed humanitarian aid to Gaza, creating a pathway to expedite food, water, and fuel to Palestinian civilians living in the war-torn territory. The resolution also demands the immediate and unconditional release of hostages Hamas took from Israel. But it does not call for a pause in the fighting or call for a ceasefire, earning the support of the United States.
The State Department tells CBS News that Secretary Antony Blinken was personally involved in negotiations on a resolution that the U.S. would not veto, making calls to counterparts around the world to move the process forward.
The vote comes a day after a report by the United Nations and other agencies found that 500,000 people in Gaza are starving. That's 1/4 of the population. At a soup kitchen in the southern city of Rafah, Mahmoud Al-Kashawi says it's challenging providing meals for displaced families.
We have no access to gas, so we go to streets to gather some woods to burn the fire and cook the food.
And he adds they don't have nearly enough food to meet the need. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
With only minimum humanitarian aid going to Gaza, the UN World Program says 90% of the population is going without food for a full day. Now to Fins on CBS Miami. If you are headed to Hard Rock Stadium on Christmas Eve for the Dolphins and Cowboys game, we hope you already have your parking pass. Officials say parking is now sold out and there will be no day of parking available on Sunday. If you haven't secured a parking pass, the team encourages you to use a taxi, rideshare, shuttle, or Brightline. And there is so much excitement ahead of Sunday's game. CBS News Miami's Mike Cunio and Steve Goldstein have a preview of the big matchup.
Yes, the Dolphins this weekend get America's team here in South Florida, the Dallas Cowboys, coming into a game where they're probably a little mad after getting blown out by the Bills. How on edge do you think the Dolphins need to be? And does that help knowing a team is pissed off coming into your home stadium?
Well, 100% it does. And it is crunch time now for both these teams, both 10-4, both teams probably going to make the playoffs. But Dallas has a chance to win a division. The Dolphins have a chance to win a division. Home field is there. And like you say, Dallas got hammered last week. The Buffalo Bills literally ran the ball down their throats. We'll see if the Dolphins try to take a page out of Buffalo, test that run, see if Dallas can stop them at first. But this is big time. The Dolphins have done their job, Mike, all season long to get to this position. And it's as close to a playoff game at home at Hard Rock Stadium as you could get. Christmas Eve, a couple of teams with double-digit wins, a couple of teams that think, hey, we can go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that Dallas defense is as good as it gets in the league, especially when it comes to taking the ball away. But what have you noticed that 2 of the last few weeks, the way he's playing, is this maybe one of the better stretches of the season we've we've seen him play.
Well, it is, and it's very encouraging that it comes in December. You know, Tua, for all the time, it seems like he's been a Dolphin. This is only his 4th year, and with the injuries, he hasn't always been healthy in December. Right. So this is a big stretch for him. He's played very clean the last 3 weeks. You know, even against Tennessee, when they were getting pressure on him, the Dolphins let that game get away, but he did not make the big mistake throwing the interception. So he's going to have to be on top of it this week. Dallas brings that fierce pass rush. It's a very aggressive defense, but very encouraging to see Tua play the way he's playing. And last week, part of that was the play calling, getting rid of the ball quickly and spreading it around a lot.
Even with Tyreek Hill out of the lineup, hopefully the Dolphins can get him back. But a win this week against the Cowboys puts the Dolphins in the playoffs. So there is, you know, something to look forward to there. It doesn't clinch the division or the 1 seed or anything like that. But hey, a win and you're in, and that's all you can ask for at this time of year. Goldie, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Join us Christmas Eve right here on CBS Miami for your Dolphins coverage. It starts Sunday morning with the Coach Mike McDaniel show, and that was followed by Dolphins Weekly Live. Then after the game, it's the 5th quarter post-game show on TV 33. The power of CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV, and it's all free. Or find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app, then click CBS News Miami. That's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.